I finally finished Hungerstone and I'm so satisfied. She's so hungry. I'm so satisfied. And I'm probably going to make quite a lot of videos about this because it is my personality now, I fear. But today I want to start by talking about Cora because I'm so interested in the way that her character is constructed. Cora is the perfect young Victorian woman in that she performs a very specific sort of very patriarchal femininity, and in that she performs silliness, but not to a point that she would be an embarrassment or her respectability is in question. She performs a kind of frivolous, almost childlike femininity that Victorian society, especially Victorian men, definitely wanted from young women because of this idea that women were inherently childlike, that in their innocence, and that they had the same capacity as children, really, that they were fragile and delicate and had to be protected from the real world. And obviously, this is also a very racialized and a very classist concept because this isn't a construct that was afforded to women of color, it wasn't afforded to working women, it was really a middle and upper class white woman thing. And Cora performs this so well that it's really hard to tell how much of it is her real personality and how much of it is a calculated attempt to land herself the best husband and secure herself the best position in society that she can find. Spoilers from this point on. It's not just hard to tell how much of this is Cora's real personality and how much of it isn't. It's hard to tell exactly how calculating and duplicitous she is. Because is she just this very naive, sheltered young woman who's behaving the way she's always been taught to behave and who actually does lack common sense, that there's a reflection of her real abilities in the persona she projects? It's not always faux innocence, some of it's genuine innocence. Or is she helping to poison her alleged best friend? And is she a co-conspirator in Henry's attempt to murder his wife? And the narrative goes back and forth on this multiple times. That's part of what makes it really interesting, because you're thinking one thing and then you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking that because I have preconceptions about the type of role this type of female character plays in this sort of book traditionally, and you're questioning yourself. And then something happens again and you think, no, this is genuinely what's happening here. And even at the end of it, I don't know what I think, because Cora's wearing the diamonds. She has the diamonds, she's wearing them, and she's hiding them under her dress because she knows she shouldn't have them. Accepting a physical gift, something that isn't just sweets or other consumables, from a man that you're not related to or at least engaged to in this period, that is disreputable. It's becomes less pronounced as the century goes on, but in the Regency, which is obviously prior to the Victorian era, but it's the beginning of the century, the idea was solidly established that a gift that lasted left an obligation on the young woman who received it. And that meant that accepting any sort of gift that had any kind of lasting, any kind of staying capacity, meant that you were accepting some kind of connection long term with the person who gave it to you, which was inappropriate from someone that wasn't already a member of your family or that you were planning on marrying. And Cora is the perfect girl. She's highly educated. She knows she shouldn't have this. And even in the modern day, accepting a diamond necklace from your friend's husband behind your friend's back is obviously unacceptable. It's obviously, if not a product of actual infidelity, some kind of emotional infidelity is going on. And she knows this because she's hiding it from Lenore. But then the thing is, when Lenore accuses her of being involved in the poisoning, she's genuinely shocked. And it's hard to tell, because it's real shock, it actually is, in the circumstances that she's being accused of this. So, is she shocked that Lenore has figured it out? Or is she shocked because she didn't know Lenore was being poisoned? And if she didn't know Lenore was being poisoned, what did she think was happening? Had Henry convinced her that Lenore was dying because that had been part of his plan? The poisoning was meant to look like she'd had some sort of illness. Did Cora think that she was helping her friend as she struggled through the last however long of her illness by staying with them, while also helping the man she was going to marry when her best friend was dead? Did she really care about Lenore? Because some of the time it seems like she does. Sometimes she seems to be genuinely trying to help Lenore and, keep her reputation safe and that kind of thing. Was this all a romanticized ideal about marrying your best friend's husband when your best friend tragically dies because she's naive enough that I could see that appealing to her? Or was she just an absolute hideous schemer from the beginning all along and hid it under lavender silk and sweetness? Henry says she wasn't involved, but Henry's an inveterate liar. Henry literally says, I'm a good man, so I'll give you the chance to divorce me, after he has literally been poisoning her for months. And also, his body count just rises the longer he stays alive. Henry says, I'm a good man, with a straight face, and seems to believe it himself. So him saying Cora had no idea about the poisoning is just irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything. But Cora's genuine shock at being accused, that's the thing that makes me wonder. Was she Henry's co-conspirator all along? Or was she just actually as naive as she was pretending to be? Because there was definitely a pretense to it. The form of naivety she's performing it's calculated and artificial, but underneath that, was she really as naive as she seemed? A girl who thought she understood the world she was playing in, but really didn't. And that's what's so interesting about Cora, because at the end of the novel, I have no idea. Was she a schemer? Was she innocent? Did she accept an inappropriate gift from her friend's husband because she genuinely thought he really only intended to give it to her because of the help she'd been offering him? Was she planning to marry her friend's husband when her friend tragically died and thought they all had some sort of unspoken agreement going? Was she a poisoner? Was she just silly enough to accept a really inappropriate gift because she thought, oh well, no one will find out and the diamonds are so pretty? Who is Cora? Who was she? Underneath the shell of perfect silly Victorian girl, who is Cora? And what was she? I really want to know what you think, because I can't decide, and I think that's one of the things that's so brilliant about the novel.